Children, so let's start with magnetism and matter. In the previous lesson, we learned about magnetic field, magnetic force, relation between electricity and magnetism. In this lesson, let's discuss about the history of magnetism. The word magnet is derived from the word magnesia. Also, it is said that the word magnet is derived from the word magnetite. Okay, so magnesia was the name of an island in Greece. Long ago in Greece, when shepherds were going to fields, they found that their shoes got attracted to the ground. And they began to think, how was it possible? Then they found that their shoes has some nails on it, which got attracted to some rocks under the surface of the earth. Later, many investigations were made on it and found out there are certain rocks under the surface of the earth which could attract some objects like nails. And they called these magical rocks as magnesia, and they called this phenomenon as a magical phenomenon. Later, investigation proved that this is not a magic but a property exhibited by some objects in nature, and this property was named as magnetism. So magnet always align in north-south direction when suspended freely. First, Chinese used this magnet on their chariot to show the direction. Navigation purposes and all other purposes in ships, compass needle were used. Okay, so the magnet when suspended freely points in the north-south direction. Also, what are the other features of the magnet? Like poles will repel and unlike poles will attract. And magnetic monopoles do not exist. So what do you mean by magnetic monopoles? We cannot see any magnet with north pole alone. Similarly, we can't see any magnet with south pole alone. Whenever we cut a magnet into small pieces, each piece of magnet possesses both north pole and south pole. Okay, that is the meaning of the line magnetic monopoles do not exist. Next, let's talk about the magnetic field lines. You had already studied about magnetic field lines in your class 10 physics. So just go for a quick review of all those magnetic field lines. And the first figure A shows the magnetic field lines of a bar magnet. And the second figure shows the magnetic field lines of a current carrying solenoid. Third figure represents the magnetic field lines of a dipole. Okay, electric dipole. Now, at large distances, the field lines are very similar. See here, these are the field lines at large distance, here also. So the field lines are similar. And this is the electric field lines. These two figures represent the magnetic field lines, and the last figure C represents the electric field lines, because here we have considered an electric dipole. So they have given these three figures just to compare the magnetic field lines and electric field lines. Here the curves labeled as 1 and 2. Here you can see. Can you see this portion labeled as 1? And also this is the portion labeled as 2. Okay, so first we can discuss about the field lines of bar magnet and solenoid. You had already studied in your class 10 physics the field pattern, the magnetic field pattern of bar magnet and solenoid are same. Both resembles the same type of magnetic field. Here inside the bar magnet, the magnetic field lines are straight and uniform. And inside the solenoid also the magnetic field lines are straight, and also it is crowded, which indicates the magnetic field is uniform and very strong inside the bar magnet as well as inside the solenoid. But outside the solenoid and similarly outside the bar magnet, the field lines are far apart, which indicates the relative weakness of the magnetic field in the outer region of the bar magnet as well as that of solenoid. Okay, now just compare the features of electric field lines and magnetic field lines. Consider the region 1 here. So how many field lines are passing through it, or how many field lines enter to the surface? 2. Then how many field lines leaving through the surface? That also will be 2. So the number of field lines entering through this closed surface and leaving this region is same. Similarly, here also the number of field lines entering and number of field lines moving out from the surface will be same. And here also the number of field lines entering into this closed region 2 and leaving this region 2 will be same. So that's why we will used to say that magnetic monopoles never exist. But here in the case of electric field lines, the number of field lines entering the surface or leaving the surface is not equal to number of field lines coming into this region, because they are not closed loops. They are discontinuous loops. Okay, but magnetic field lines are closed loops. These lines form a closed one. So if one line enter into the surface, this will come back like this. And if this second line enter into the magnet, it will come back like this, because this is a closed one. So the number of field lines entering and number of field lines leaving the region will be same. Hence we used to say magnetic monopoles never exist. Okay, next let's discuss about the Gauss's law in magnetism. All of you are aware of or familiar with the Gauss's law in electrostatics. What is the Gauss's law of electrostatics? Integral E dot ds is equal to Q by epsilon naught. This is the Gauss's law of electrostatics. Then what is the Gauss's law of magnetism? Gauss's law of magnetism is closed integral. Instead of E, here we have B dot ds is equal to 0. What do you mean by integral B dot ds is equal to 0? This means that magnetic monopoles do not exist. Next, let's discuss about Earth's magnetism. Do you know Earth itself is a giant magnet? And what is the proof for it? See, if we leave a bar magnet freely, it will align in north-south direction. This is the best proof for Earth's magnetism. There must be something that makes this magnet align in this north-south direction. This alignment shows that Earth's magnetism is the cause for the alignment of the magnet in the north-south direction. Then what could be the reason for this Earth's magnetism? See, in the outer core of the Earth, there are many molten metallic fluids of nickel and iron. Due to the motion of this nickel and iron metallic fluids, electric currents are set up, due to which magnetic field is set up. This field causes Earth's magnetism. Due to the rotation of Earth, charged particles inside the Earth also move, due to which circulating currents are set up, and hence it leads to magnetism. Because electricity leads to magnetism, you know that. So whenever Earth rotates, charged particle inside the Earth also rotates, which set up a circulating currents, and in turn this circulating currents leads to magnetism. Okay, then magnetic field of Earth varies from place to place, and the general value of this magnetic field of Earth is 10 raised to minus 5 Tesla. Okay, then Earth is a giant magnet. So Earth has got North Pole and South Pole. And in fact, there are two types of North and South Pole. One is the magnetic North and South Pole, and next one is the geographic North and South Pole of the Earth. Okay, so let's discuss about that. If Earth is a magnet, it has a North and South Pole and magnetic field lines. On the globe, we have North Pole on the top and South Pole on bottom. That is the geographical pole. The magnetic North Pole and South Pole are not the same. It is decided by the magnetic field lines of the Earth. You know, when magnet is suspended freely like this, it always aligns in this direction, that is north-south direction. Okay, and this is the geographic axis of the Earth. line passing through the geographic north and south pole of the earth, and this line is the magnetic axis of the earth because it is the line passing through the magnetic north and south pole, and there is an angle of separation between geographic axis and magnetic axis. What is that angle of separation? It is 11.3 degree. It is shown in the figure. Now, when a magnet is suspended freely, it aligns in the north-south direction as shown here. So this is the north pole of the magnet, and on the figure it is marked as this is the magnetic north pole of the earth. So this created a confusion because this is north and this end is also north. So there must be a repulsive or repulsion because like poles will repel. So how the magnet could align in this direction without any repulsion? So later investigations proved that the magnetic north of the earth is actually the south pole itself. Similarly, here the south pole of the magnet aligns near the magnetic south pole of the earth. This is not possible because south pole and south pole will repel. But later investigation proved that this magnetic south pole, that is SM, is not south pole. Actually it is north. And here also this magnetic north is actually south. Okay, then only north pole of the magnet can lie near this end, and the south pole of the magnet lie near this end. Okay, so this NM and SM. NM and SM means the magnetic north and magnetic south. So this is actually the south pole of the earth, and this SM is actually the north pole of the earth. And whenever you look the pattern of the magnetic field lines of the earth, this also proves the same thing. So this is the magnetic field lines of earth. This will be the direction. That means the field lines moves from north to south pole. So this end which is marked as magnetic south is actually the north pole, and this end which is marked as the magnetic north is actually the south pole. Okay, this will be the direction of the magnetic field lines for earth. So the pattern of field lines also indicate that this end is the north pole and this end is the south pole. But still, even though it is south, it is called as magnetic north because it is near to the geographic north pole of the earth. This is the geographic north pole, and this end is near to the geographic north pole of the earth. That's why it is called as magnetic north even though it is a south pole. And here also this SM, this is near the geographic south pole of the earth. See, this SG is the geographic south pole of the earth. So since this point lies near the geographic south pole of the earth, that end is named as magnetic south pole. Okay, so this is about the earth's magnetism.